CTV News at 6 with Hudson Mack.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. Duncan Morrison says he is getting out of the restaurant industry and is leaving Victoria. The operator of the Wharfside restaurant in Victoria and longtime restaurateur in the city says he is selling his stake in the Wharfside and will move to Alberta, likely to Calgary. He leaves behind a lineup of former employees who claim that restaurant owes them thousands of dollars. CTV News has been investigating those claims against the Wharfside this week, and CTV's Joe Perkins has the latest.
It's the stack of complaints CTV News has received from former Wharfside Seafood Grille employees claiming they haven't been paid. Operator Duncan Morrison has told us he was working to settle the complaints. We wanted to see if he had.
Joe Perkins from CTV News. I'm wondering if Mr. Morrison is around.
No, Mr. Morrison, just so you're aware, as of yesterday, he no longer works or has anything to do with the Wharfside.
Maria Hernandez, who tells us she is the operator of Wharfside, says Morrison has resigned, leaving behind the restaurant and thousands of dollars in claims from former staff.
So is that the answer, though? Mr. Morrison just leaves and clears his hands of the situation?
I think that's something you have to ask Mr. Morrison.
So we did, reaching him by phone.
I'm out. It's over. It's time for me to leave.
Are you going to Alberta?
I'm going to Alberta.
Calgary?
I'm going to Alberta. Probably, yes, Calgary. Doesn't matter. Kind of opportunity. Not this business, though. I'm done with this business.
His decision can be seen from Wharf Street. Inside, Hernandez breaks the news to her staff.
Last night, Duncan submitted his resignation.
Yesterday, Morrison told former employees John Churma and Tilly McDonald to come back this afternoon.
He had no money today. The only way that we're going to see any money is if Moose shows up or John shows up by himself tomorrow.
When John went to the Wharfside, Morrison wasn't there, but his paycheck was $943.42, almost the full amount, $85 short of what he says he's owed.
As for Tilly, she's not being paid.
Very glad.
It's all going through the labor board.
Tilly joins other former employees who claim Wharfside owes them money. Hernandez says she will work with the labor board to settle the claims. When asked if she has the money to pay,
In full right now? No. But I will make sure that the commitment is there to pay them fairly and in a timely fashion.
As for Morrison, should you be held accountable?
I am held accountable. And I absolutely, I should be held accountable and absolutely regret it. But I'm sure that everyone will be taken care of.
The Labour Ministry says Duncan Morrison is not the legal owner of the company, meaning he would not be legally responsible for any debts. Morrison wouldn't comment on how the outstanding claims would be paid.
I think there's a procedure in place for everyone's going to get paid, but I'm gone. Okay? I am gone.
After years in the restaurant business in Victoria, Morrison plans to leave tonight, and he says he won't be back.
All of a sudden, what their purpose has been, what they've been trying to do, they've achieved.
John and Tilly disagree. They say they just want to be paid in full with the rest of the former staff, with or without Duncan Morrison.
And Joe Perkins joins us now live outside the Wharfside with more. Joe, Duncan Morrison's been part of the hospitality scene in Victoria for many years, hotels and nightclubs and restaurants, and he has faced other claims such as these, hasn't he?
Yeah, Hudson. Duncan Morrison has been involved with 4 Victoria companies, and in the past decade, they've accumulated several employment standards complaints. Duncan says that's over. Mr. Morrison says he will be leaving the city. He won't be involved in the industry here or in Alberta anymore. I spoke to Maria Hernandez, the operator of the restaurant. Now, she had a meeting this afternoon with the labor board. She says there's several complaints on file. Now they have to go through and see which ones are legitimate. She says that, she believes that people are filing complaints that aren't real. She said she's spoken to some people, or seen complaints rather, from people that didn't even work in the restaurant. So now it's a matter of figuring out what complaints are legitimate, and she says once they do that, these people will be paid. We'll wait to see if that actually happens, and there is no timeline, Hudson.
All right. We'll stay on the story. Joe Perkins, thank you.
You're welcome.